So we're going to be going over what's the actual purpose of your photos on Amazon, because you get 9 images and you got to be very purposeful with them, and you don't want to just throw up random photos. So we're going to be going over the different types of photos that you actually want to have, and then what the purpose that that photo is, going to portray, and then kind of what elements you can use to portray what you want with that picture. If you get all these emotional things and all these checklists off, well, then people might buy. Well, they will. So I'm going to hand this off to Anthony. We're going to see how this goes.
Alrighty, yeah. So I think we break our photos down into a couple of different categories. You've got your main image, and then you've got pretty much essentially what are white background images. You've got lifestyle images, and then you've got infographics. Now, some of these categories are going to kind of blur together, where it's like maybe you're using a white background image that has text on it to make an infographic, or maybe you have a lifestyle image that has text on it to make like what we'd call a lifestyle infographic. So I'll walk through each of these individually. Probably one of the most important images that you're going to have is your main image, right? This is going to be what's going to show up on your page of search results or Amazon. This is what's designed to take someone from page 1 to actually click into your listing. Because that's like 60% of the battle with Amazon is just getting someone onto your listing. And then once you've got that traffic there, how can you actually convert that traffic?
Yeah,
So,
we'll go over these more in depth. This is just kind of the high level, list of what that actually is to, get your mental model set up for this.
gotcha. Cool. So yeah, so you've got your main photo, just designed to get people onto your page and explain what the product is. White background photos are pretty simple, right? That's just your product on a white background. That's probably like the most basic level of photography. When you're taking these white backgrounds, you usually just want to shoot your product from a couple of different angles. And the purpose of this is to show what your product looks like, to maybe show a couple of features of your product, and then most importantly, to show what's included in the product. So if you're giving away a value add item, you want to make sure that that's shown. Next category is going to be lifestyle images. This is someone actually using your product in the real world environment. So if I've got a spatula, maybe I want to see a model holding the spatula in the kitchen, flipping some eggs, right? The product in use. Then on the later end, then we've got an infographic. An infographic is just combining your product with text or graphic design to sell a couple of key benefits from the product. So Brock, like real quick, this is something I say a lot to our clients, is there's kind of like 3 tiers of photography. So tier 1, imagine, let's say I'm selling this cup right here. So tier 1 photo is just this product on a white background, right? A tier 2 photo would be this product. Maybe you've got a model and they're holding this product and she's sipping from it, right? That's a tier 2 photo. Then a tier 3 photo would be the model sipping from the cup with some text pointing to this thing, made from this type of material, won't break, doesn't have any flavor, BPA free, whatever the benefit is. And so you can very quickly see that going from just a white background image to essentially like a lifestyle infographic. If I'm a customer and I'm looking at this image, I can very quickly see, here's the product, here's it in its environment, here's what a benefit is. So the tier 3 is obviously going to be the most effective type of image that you can have.
Okay, yeah. So essentially, the more data that you put in these photos is going to be better. All right, so those are our options with photos, and you obviously the more data that you have in these photos, and the better you're able to get that message across, the better. But what messages should you be getting across with these types of photos?
Yeah,
like
sure.
that's kind of the core thing of photos are worthless unless they tell a story or get a point across. Like what do you suggest that people be actually putting in these photos, or like trying to get across?
Yeah, the biggest thing that I would recommend at the end of the day is thinking about, okay, if I've actually come into a listing and I want to go and buy this product, what are the maybe usually about 5 key selling points that I need to emphasize? Because when people come into the listing, they probably, unless it's a stumble upon product, they probably already have a good idea of what the product is, what the benefit is for their life. So what they want to do is they want to confirm everything that I'm seeing here in terms of the images. Check. Yes, this does what I need it to do. This looks like it's a high quality product. This doesn't seem like it's going to be a pain where I'm going to have to go and return it or have issues. It covers all my needs. And then they're going to actually go and click that to, let me go and add this to my cart. So the real big things that I want to focus on and where we kind of pull a lot of our data from is number one, like looking at the reviews, look at the positive and negative reviews for this product and see what do people really like about it, right? So if it's this cup and they really like that, hey, it's got really hard glass and it's not going to break, or maybe it's dishwasher safe. Okay, we want to emphasize those 2 points if those are the biggest points that people like about the product. If there's certain things that people don't like about the product, right? They have pain points. Then you want to come out and proactively address your product as not having those pain points, or here's how we've solved the pain points that other customers have with this product. So, there's a lot of good examples of this, but, maybe if you have like the barbecue silicone gloves and they're saying, oh, every time I try to grab something with it, it slips, right? It doesn't have a good grip on the items that I'm grabbing. So if that's a big pain point of all of your competitors, then I'm going to want to come out and I'm going to want to have an infographic that says, they're holding a bowl and it says sturdy, textured grip to keep everything in place. Bad copy, but you kind of get the point there. And so that's what you're going to want to do. So reviews, positive and negative, is a really big thing. Features, I think, is secondary to that, because I think a lot of you, unless you're selling a product that's truly unique, you're not going to be able to say, oh, hey, our product is dishwasher safe and all the competitors aren't. Like, I guarantee all the competitors are dishwasher safe, so that's not your key selling point. But that still might be an important feature that you need to emphasize on the product, right? So what I'd say is focus on reviews first, and then the secondary features, especially if they're similar to competitors, stick on that second. Because when, in terms of conversion optimization, you're just playing a game. You want to convince the buyer that this is what they want in the shortest amount of time possible. So when you're organizing your image set, you want to put the highest priority things first. And then if they make it down to your 9th image and you're still giving them helpful information that makes them make a correct buying decision, then that's obviously a big win. But focus on the important things first.
Okay, yeah. So that's actually very similar to what I talk about. I'm playing the game of the beginner so that we get your opinion, so that we could see where the similarities are. And if I just preach, then we just talk on the points that I want to talk about. So that's good to hear, though, because that's very similar. So what you're saying is what makes you unique, highlight that, and then maybe in the later images, you're going to mark off that checklist of, okay, this is a requirement. It needs to be dishwasher safe in this size, but that wouldn't be your first photo. Is kind of, or one of your first ones, is what you're saying?
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. Focus on the key points first.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, so I think that's a good overview of the types of photos, and you're essentially just trying to get their attention and why should they buy yours? So awesome.